This bonus episode of Locked on Spartans is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and learn about that no sweat first bet. All right, let's get into it. Rivals. That's right. They have updated their 2023 boys basketball recruiting rankings. And there's some movement going on for our Michigan State Spartans. Some up, some down. But at the very end, things are still looking more than okay for next year's class. But hey, it's the off season. This is one of the most fun things to talk about, especially in the world of recruiting. So let's get into the numbers here of all the changes that happen over at Rivals. Also, how it compares to other sites as well. But right now, Xavier Booker, yes, the cream of the crop of this class, he has slid down to number 15. So, okay, still at the end of the day, a five-star recruit, slid down from 9 to 15. This was the site, actually, Rivals, that had Xavier Booker rated as high as number 1 late in the summer when he committed to the 2023 class. But at the end of the day, look, still a top 15 recruit. Jeremy Fears, he moved down from 26 back to 35. That is, of course, as you already may know, the second McDonald's All-American in this class for Michigan State. Xavier Booker being the other one. So he is at 35. Coen Carr. All right, this is your seismic shift in the right direction for Michigan State. He was ranked at 94 in the country, and anyone probably that's seen even just 20 seconds of his highlight film probably knew that 94 was too low of a ranking, and the fine folks at Rivals were some of those people as well. He shot up from 94 all the way to 32. That's right. He's now, according to Rivals, the second highest ranked commit in this Michigan State class. And then Gehrig Normand, he is at 80 right now. So still a top 100 kid. That is 4 top 100 kids for Michigan State. Gehrig Normand, the highest he got during this whole Rivals roller coaster was as high as 48 back in August, but right now sitting at a smooth 80. Now, of course, got some comments on that. I know, imagine that. I have some comments on Michigan State things. Right now, hey, you know what? The Xavier Booker thing, I know that, people have seen this slipping in the wrong direction here, but let me say it for a third, if not fourth time. I've already lost count. Still a top 15 kid. And if you have listened to any other podcast episode in the last month where we've talked about next year's recruiting class, you know my thoughts on Xavier Booker. Hey, I'm very excited about him. Let's not get it twisted. This is going to be a fantastic class coming into Michigan State, a top 5 class, according to Rivals, going into Michigan State. But he is rated that high because of his ceiling, of course. And I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, if this is your third or fourth time hearing me say this, but next year, I don't think he's going to come in and be a 21 point, 11 rebounds sort of guy. I think he could potentially be coming off the bench, especially with the return of Malik Hall. And we've talked about this too when Malik Hall announced his return, that if Xavier Booker really is him right off the bat, then, well, Izzo does have a history of having those seniors take a back seat to younger talent. So no, I'm not saying that Xavier Booker is going to come off the bench just because Malik Hall came back, but Malik Hall, where he is at 23 years old, probably a little more reliable, probably a little more polished, probably a little more sound defensively than Xavier Booker is right now. Now, he is rated that high. He still is a 5-star guy because of his ceiling. He has a good shooting stroke. He is very rangy. He's already showing good post presence with blocks in the paint, but just needs to get that motor up, needs to tighten things up defensively, especially in a Tom Izzo system. So here is why I think maybe him sticking around for 2 years isn't the craziest thing in the world. And it sounded crazy back when he was ranked number 1, maybe even in the top 10. But when he gets back down to that 15 ranking, according to Rivals, or even outside of Rivals too, like 24/7 has him rated number 10. ESPN, just like Rivals, also has him ranked top 15, squarely at number 15. It could be a project here. So let's just all be patient. And I'm repeatedly saying this to just give a PSA to everyone that just a little bit of patience maybe with Xavier Booker. If we get into the end of December and he's just sitting at 8.5 points a game, 6 rebounds, just 1 block, that's probably fine. Cause I don't think this is as polished of a kid coming straight in that's almost there at his ceiling. Still think he's got a way to go, but yeah, I hope that makes sense to the folks out there about recruiting, that sometimes you are rated just based on who you can be one day. And I think Xavier Booker will be a fantastic player one day. Hopefully he hits the ceiling in his freshman year. But if not, maybe that sophomore year wouldn't help. Going on to Jeremy Fears, not a lot to say about him. This is the kid I'm most jazzed about in the class. I mean, don't get it twisted. It is a really, really close race for first place, and I guarantee every fan you talk to will have a different answer. But for me, personally, it's Jeremy Fears. I think is going to be an incredible point guard here at a program that just has a history of sensational point guard play. But yeah, he does it well at both ends. Great distributor of the ball. He's working on that shooting stroke. And based on what we saw at the McDonald's All-American game, this may sound very silly because he didn't make a jumper, but based on where he was his junior year and some sophomore year tape too, like that jumper just looks a lot more smooth than what it was. I know that sounds ridiculous, but look, as long as it's looking silky at least off release, then you could work with that. He's trending in the right direction there. But, of course, he's got a lot more of dog to him defensively. Just great at finding open teammates as well, and that's what you want out of your point guard. Now, Coen Carr, who, just like Gehrig Normand, will be playing in the Ball is Life All-American game, shoots up in the top 40 rankings, and just an athletic menace, just a demon. We've all seen the dunk highlights, whether it's that dunk contest that he won over the Final Four weekend down in Houston, or if it's just in-game stuff. But yeah, his motor seems endless. I mean, God, this is a kid that a lot of other people are thrilled to have at Michigan State. But yeah, Rivals has him sitting there at 32. ESPN has him even higher rated at 24, and then 24/7 Sports has him scooted a little back at 42. And then Gehrig Normand sitting there at 80. ESPN has him unranked, and 24/7 has him at a 93. But this is a kid that, by his third year here, I think is going to be a really solid player. And up before that third year, I think he's going to have meaningful minutes here off the bench. He does have a good shooting stroke. He does have that sneaky athleticism, that we talk about with those kind of players. He can throw down dunks, over people as well. But this is all to say he's got a good shooting stroke. He's a solid wing defender, sneaky athlete from Texas. We've used this comparison before. A lot of other Michigan State media members have used this comparison before. But it's a Matt McQuaid 2.0 walking into East Lansing. Almost had the same rankings too coming out of high school. So yeah, you could expect a good career out of Gehrig Normand as well. Now, we're going to put a bow on this talk with this little fun fact right here. Rivals, even with their re-rankings, even with a little bit of a slide for Booker, a little bit of one for Fears, but a sensational rise, we'll just call it that, for Coen Carr. MSU, out of all the Big Ten teams next year, has the 3 best prospects going into the season. All right, Xavier Booker, Coen Carr, Jeremy Fears are all ranked ahead of the next highest Big Ten ranked, which would be Devin Royal. He is ranked somewhere in the 40s. Michigan State was after him, but he committed to Ohio State. So yes, you got to go down to 4 players before you reach a Big Ten player. That is not a Spartan, and that's just the way we like it around here. So there you have it. That is the Rivals re-ranking shuffle. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day here. I mean, thanks for dropping by. Hopefully we gave some company over some lunch later on tonight. We will be having our NFL draft prep show, talking Jaden Reed, Jacob Slade, Bryce Behringer, Ben Van Sumeren, all with NFL draft guru Tyler Forness. Until then, though, hey, enjoy the rest of your day. Love you all. Go Green.